Rise and shine, sunrisers. It's a May-tastic Thursday, and we're so blessed that you chose to rise with us this morning. It's, one day away from the weekend. I'm so glad for the weekend. By the way, you got this. Just hang on in there. We're almost there. Speaking of, though, it's kind of sort of looking like, where's my co-host? Have you guys seen my co-host? Where is the Dennis? Oh.
Morning, folks. Morning. I'm here in the all-new BMW X2. Loving it. Today, keep your face always toward the sunshine, and your shadows will fall behind you. That's Walt Whitman, American poet, essayist, and journalist. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that metaphor. Yeah, I guess the emphasis there is perspective.
That's right.
Perspective, I was having a conversation at work yesterday, and someone, discussing something, and then someone just said something and gave a completely different perspective. You know that thing called insight?
Yes.
And I was like,
it was an aha moment.
Never thought of it. And it's like, no matter how much learning you have, no matter how much knowledge you acquire,
there's still room for more. Don't you love that about existence, though? I really love that. I love that there is literally always a chance to learn more. And speaking of learning more, IT said something yesterday that really resonated with me.
Okay.
And I never ever thought of it like that. And I remember as we were watching, because even when I'm not here at Sunrise, we're watching Sunrise.
Yes, we're watching.
And I remember when he said it, I kind of went, huh. And I heard my husband in the distance go, oh, wow. And I'm like, I turned around and I said, right. And what he said was, every single person has a teacher, even a doctor, even a lawyer. Like every single person, no matter who you interface with in life, what we all have in common is that we have teachers.
TK.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
There's a nice color on you.
Dennis keeps us on our toes for this.
I have never know what's coming.
Neither do I.
Never.
Neither do I.
But I also love that mint on you.
Oh, I was gonna test Dennis to see what color he thought it was, because Dennis is a color person.
Yeah.
Dennis, anyway,
Green.
we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it.
Okay.
Green.
You're right. Green it is.
Okay.
It's mint, but we'll work with it. All right, let's jump into the headlines. AstraZeneca recall. AstraZeneca has issued a recall of its COVID-19 vaccine months after acknowledging the potential for a rare blood clotting side effect. In February, AstraZeneca conceded in a legal document that its COVID vaccine can, in very rare cases, induce an uncommon side effect associated with blood clots and low blood platelet counts. The side effect has been linked to at least 81 deaths in the UK, along with numerous serious injuries. Since the recall, local health authorities have yet to issue a statement on the matter, and Shadow Minister on Health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, wants answers. In December.
I don't know. I maybe it's a skeptic in my head, because first of all, I saw this story before, and the impression that I got was that it was recalling the vaccine due to continued decline in demand for it. And I thought, well, natural. The further we move outside of the pandemic is the less demand that there's going to be for this vaccine. Life has moved on. And then I'm seeing now that it is due to this rare potential. And I'm saying there's always been a rare potential for it. That I'm asking, is it that the prevalence of this blood clotting has risen, or has something changed because it's always been this way? So, or is it that there's been a greater lobby for them to recall it? So I don't know.
I just think that right now there has been evidence of the connection of the blood clotting in certain patients who received the AstraZeneca.
How many? That's what I'm talking about, the prevalence.
81 in the UK.
81 in the UK.
And of the how many million?
10 million.
particularly, he's a very good writer. You know, a lot of melodies and stuff like that. You know, so that's kind of just how he became prominent in terms of his writing skills.
As a producer and as somebody who's managing a talent, you always want, when them dropping out the scene, you need to them need to distinguish themselves. What distinguishes him from another artist who's trying to do the same thing?
I think his personality for one, and just massively his writing skills. You know, dancehall for right now tends to be a little bit simple in terms of the lyrics. But for 450 is a little bit more impressive in terms of his play on words and stuff like that. So that is kind of one of the things that makes him stand out.
In listening to some of his music, one of the things I like is that I can understand what he is saying. He's not mumbling. Was that deliberate also to set him apart from what's going on right now?
Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah. I can't really say much about how he writes his music.
But his cadence, his
the
delivery,
dynamics is different.
clarity is so important. And I'm like, oh, finally, all right.
We were seeing some footage on the screen a while ago of him in concert, and the stage presence is there and the crowd is going with him, the lights on the phone, and he's captivating the audience. So, there we go. There's the footage there.
It was England.
So that is just a glimpse of what we can possibly see coming up this Saturday. Tell us what to expect on Saturday.
It's just going to be an amazing performance. It's a cultural showcase of a tremendously great catalogue that he's put together for the last couple of years. So we just want patrons to turn out on Saturday night at the Ron Williams Entertainment Center and just, it's food, music, vibes. Just come out and have fun. And if you're a fan of 450, it will be a night to remember in terms of just the catalogue that he's put together. Your favorite songs, whatever they might be, whether it might be Wild or Rich or Imperfections or Journey. There's something special for Saturday night for each one of them.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
Studies have shown that there's an increase now of more women wanting to stay home. So it is now going back to women want to stay home. They want to stay home now. So what's done? Women want to stay home now.
Interesting.
But the reality is that less mothers are investing. And why is that? Because more often than not, women, as we mentioned earlier, take on a lot more. So they do not have enough to invest. And I'll get down into that this morning. But I generally tell the mothers when I sit with them across a desk to give them any form of advice, start where you are now. And sometimes because maybe not having the full knowledge of investing, they do not start. Or they would say, Carlton, the money I have now is to stretch to get the kids off to school or to help with something at home. So I don't have enough to start investing. And I say, here what? Just start now. If you don't understand, start with something low risk. A little fixed deposit over here. Or a unit trust here and there because you don't have all the full knowledge. But just start investing. Number two, I want you to prioritize and budget for your self-care. Half the time, mothers, because you're taking on so much for so many different persons, you're not in your best space. Budget your self-care. What is it that you need to put in your budget to ensure you're at a better place? Yendi, as a mother, studies have shown that 46% of mothers are in therapy. I'm just the poor mother. 40%, yeah, are in therapy. They're
That's
looking
a new thing, though,
yes,
maybe.
But they are doing a little bit more.
That's high. People are more open to therapy now.
Yeah, so persons are more open. So I want to put that in your budget to ensure that you are taken care of. The reality is, when a mother is well, she's okay, the house is better. Everybody just is better when mommy is okay. So mothers, ensure that you are doing just that. Number three, explore smart shopping strategies. All right? The reality is 58% of mothers are taking on more home responsibilities, financial responsibilities. They're ensuring that bills are being paid. Women are taking on much more, and mothers in particular. So you have to ensure that when you go shopping, your price check. The chicken is one to the $250 over here. Is one to the $210 over here.
Look here.
Pick up the one
I
in
am
there.
the queen
You're one of that?
the,
You're
I
one
am
of those?
absolutely
You
that
were, I was about to
person.
ask that question.
I am absolutely that person.
You do coupons and stuff?
All of the tin food come from the same factory. So I'm going to look at the tin food
And pick
and
the
say,
cheapest
okay,
one.
this one is $10 less. I'm going with this one. I'm not partial to a brand.
Just a partial to a brand.
Nope.
You're
And I'm
partial to your
definitely going to
pockets.
pick up the pack of chicken that is 5 cents less. I am that person. I'm very frugal.
And I encourage
Very
that because sometimes that $50 that you're saving here and $100 that you're saving there,
Yeah.
it adds up, it makes a difference. That's maybe a day's lunch money when you put everything together for
Yeah.
your child. So please be smart about it. Also, shop around, check the price of the item here at this particular
Yes.
store before you go here. And not because something is on a sale mean that you're getting a sale. Half the time you're not, all right? So check that as well.
Let us talk about just how commendable, Jamaican teachers are.
We're well trained. In school and in the classroom, we're well trained.
Well trained. What a country where every and anybody can recruit from Jamaica. Jamaican teachers go to those countries and not just cope
Perform.
or adapt,
Excel.
but excel and do very well.
If they allow you to, especially. If they allow you to.
Ooh, that's an important point.
Yes, sometimes you want to give your opinion or you want to suggest certain things or you want to offer your help. But it doesn't feel welcome.
want it.
Yeah.
Class sizes. The disparity in class sizes. So in Jamaica, 40,
45.
45, 50. Your students' name a drop off.
Yes. You have to add name, don't
You have to add the name on the-
line.
add lines.
Or cut the register sheet and add.
And then fold it up.
Fold it up.
In England, probably 15, 20.
Yeah.
In the United States, 15, 20, 25.
Yeah.
If you have 25, how much in your class now?
26. My largest class is 26.
No, that sounds like heaven compared to 45 at Jamaica. But can I just say to you that 45 students have the potential, listen to me carefully, have the potential to feel better, you're better able to cope
Yeah.
than a class of 26 in the United States, depending on the profile of the students that you get to
But
work
you didn't
with.
have 10 on Madia England.
Can I tell you, 9
9. You had 9 boys.
kittens.
Yep.
If I were to go back home right now to be an educator in Jamaica, I would have been premier, top shelf, creme de la creme. I feel like it should be mandatory for every teacher in Jamaica to travel abroad and teach for at least 1 year. Because when you come back to Jamaica, oh God, the perspective.
And I see my own life
Yes.
as an example of what education can do for the social and economic transformation of a life. And that's what the transformation is about. We are finally making the connection between education and national development. And I like the fact that we are using trend
Yes.
because it came from the young people. It is the children that we spoke to say, we need to be relatable. We need to feel like education is for us and about us. And that's where trend came from. And what was most important about that conversation is that they got the connection. It is about us being ready to develop our country. And that's what transformation hopes to achieve. We must put the machinery in place to get our human resource, which is the capital to drive transformation in our country. The education system has that big responsibility, and that's what we are working towards.
Yeah.
You know, when we look at transformation of public institutions or public structures, we always have in mind a desired end state.
Yes.
What's the desired end state of the Jamaican education system when you discuss transformation now?
So the ultimate is really to achieve our 2030 vision.
Right.
We want Jamaica to be a place of choice, to live, to do businesses, to raise families. That's the ultimate.
Right.
But to get there, we have to move with improvements in our performance. Our students need to give us, or we need to be satisfied that the outputs and the outcomes will lead us to the vision that we want for this country. Right now, we are not there. I can tell you that the latest data set tells us that we have 31% of our students leaving our high schools with 5 or more CXCs, including math and English.
Right.
That's unacceptable. That's not something as a country we can sit and just be proud of. We have to put the work in, and that's what the program over these 8 years that we're working on will try to achieve. We want to move that 31% to a minimum of 80%, because we know as educators you will have special education needs, and so in the normal scheme of things, you won't have everybody performing at the same level. But for those students who need special support, we want them to be maximized as well. So that's the end game. We want our high school, our primary high school system to be exiting students who are ready for higher learning and ready for the world of work.
Hi, I'm Wayne.
And I'm Tami.
And we are the Mitchells. You can watch Meet the Mitchells right here on CVMTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, you guys don't want to miss it. We will be having new episodes every week, so definitely follow along with our family.
Meet the Mitchell family.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You're the sugar to my tea. Meet the Mitchell family.
Extremely. All my students will tell you, if you're talking to me, look in my eyes. I don't want to see your face on the ground. Look at me. Talking to me. Talk into my eyes. That way we have a connection.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, Yendi and I were talking about, you know, we're reflecting on my childhood inability to remember my golden text. But I would get in trouble for being able to verbatim sing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song.
See?
Yeah, and I was, and the remark what I made was, well, maybe if they taught the golden text with music, I would learn it like how I learned the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song.
No, yeah, I tell you, interestingly, I had a group of children in one of those areas I was working in. And I wanted to teach them obedience to their parents. Now, there's a scripture verse that actually says, the eye that mocketh his father and mother, the fowl of the air, the raven will pick it up. And they just couldn't get it. So I composed a simple song for them. If you don't listen to your mama and your papa, John Crowd go pluck out your eye. It scared the life out of them, but I never forget it. So that's the power of the music. It pulls and it helps with the memory retention. They should have taught you the golden text. You'd probably be preaching instead of doing this.
All right, come on, somebody, loose me.
You know, hey. You know what else though? It's how music has a way of not just with the memory retention, but the development overall, the cognitive development.
It is important.
Tell us the role that music plays in the development of children's minds.
You know, music is the only activity that you will do that engages every part of your brain. So you have to, if you're reading a score, you have to be, so your optic, if you have to be listening, you have to be counting. So it engages the entire brain in one go. It is so important. And, you know, sometimes people say, oh, the rich people, them send them children to learn music. No, but if you take note, a number of those children never turn out to be musicians. The purpose is primarily for cognitive development.
So the good thing about this is that the brand new design X2 is more of a coupe shape. So it's now a small compact SUV and it's more of the size of an SUV. So it's taken the size of what the previous X4 was, which is our hottest seller. And this, the new design and the curves, the lines, the technology, it's far advanced and it's taking us right into the future.
You mentioned the technology. Obviously, technology changes a lot with time and things progress quite rapidly right now. What are some of the new tech features that you guys have?
So the tech features that we now have more safety features, front collision warning, the braking intervention for the rear, along with the front and rear parking sensors, new LED lights. So if you have visibility issues, which a lot of people don't speak about, headlights are a big thing, especially at night with the lighting. It's a further distancing at night. We have wireless charging. We have a new digital display.
Pause. We can't say that too fast because I love that one. Wireless charging.
We now have wireless charging.
So I don't have to walk with one bag of charger and no cords pouring out of my console.
And the ports in the vehicle are Type-C, so we're right there in the future.
So I just can rest on my phone and that's it, it's going to charge.
That's right.
Fantastic stuff. I also noticed I did a little peek in and I'm seeing some nice action for the roof there. Is that a bit of a panoramic vibe going on?
So that is a panoramic roof. We also have the sport seats inside. We now have flush door handles.
Oh, yes. Dennis, how are you feeling in there?
I quite like it. Good morning once again, everyone. I'm definitely liking it. The interior is different from what you might know if you're familiar with other models.
Yeah.
This is an excellent interior.
We are doing something for mommy. You know, mommy days are very special.
Yes.
So we have a little. We're going to color as best as possible.
All right.
As pretty as possible, be very, very creative for Mother's Day. So we're going to give each one a little card for them to color.
All right.
And to make it as pretty as possible for mommy.
All right, so let's go and let's give it. So everybody's going to get one?
Everyone going to get a card. As soon as you get your stuff, start coloring.
Can I help one of you color? I love to color, yeah? Okay, I'll help you.
All right. So they can decorate it however they want.
Whatever they want to do.
So, okay, there are flowers here.
And you can make it as pretty as possible.
Awesome.
Your flowers, you can use.
All right, we've got markers over here.
Go ahead, you can start, you can start.
And we've got these large popsicle sticks. What are we going to be doing with them?
Whatever they want to do, you just make it as creative as possible.
Right.
You have cartridge paper, you can use cartridge paper.
And there's glue.
Glue, there are all kind of stuff for you to use. Make it very creative as possible. You can use a cartridge paper for backing if you want.
All right. I'm gonna
think about
see if
mommy.
I can get some of this coloring going on.
I have a question. Which one of you loves coloring in your free time? Oh, that's almost everybody.
That's almost everybody, okay.
Myself as well.
Oh, even Auntie too. Do you guys feel like when Mother's Day comes, it's a big deal for that one day, or you feel like you should celebrate Mom all the time? How do you guys feel about Mother's Day?
I feel like we should celebrate moms all the time.
Right. What's your favorite thing about your mom?
She helps me do things.
Chance here from outside! Raise ball into the middle, it's a free header, and it's a goal!
Welcome back to the round table. This morning the topic is kids and censorship, freedom to view and explore. And you know we say it at this table all the time flies when good things are happening, but you know what time it is. It is time for final thoughts. And I mean, we've been talking about parental controls, how to kind of give kids access. So in your final thoughts, I mean, you've removed the word censorship, you're allowing them to explore. What are some of the things that people need to be cognizant of as they allow their child to explore this new digital world that they exist in?
I think that things are changing at such a fast pace. It is important that parents, guardians keep abreast of the technologies that are out there that they can use. So, for example, if you're limited on time, there's so many things you can do, right? You can control the websites, the applications that your child or children can access remotely from work, right? You can use the device itself, right? You can go online and read about the content that they're watching. And of course, everybody's circumstances are different.
Yes.
But ultimately, you have to design your life around the circumstances that you have or that you're in, and operate within that context. Because there are tools that exist that even if you're leading a busy schedule, you're not physically home, there's a lot that you can do to monitor your child, right? So I would say that those are my
just real
final
quick,
thoughts.
talk about even Edifocal. I mean, the use of that type of technology and interacting with kids.
Absolutely. So, you look at Edifocal, for example. For the platform itself, if you want to limit your child to, just the Edifocal platform, using the Edifocal platform, you may not be able to be at home to monitor their test prep, but you can log in, their controls, you can see what they're doing on the platform. So those things are very, very valuable, right? So again, within that context, you can't help them to prepare for their exams, for their PEP exams, for their CQ.
Give them the tools to be able to.
Correct.
So
exactly. So you can know if they're on it or not, right? We just released applications for Android and iOS. You can download. Same kind of controls exist. So definitely.
For me, Nathan, it's know your child, having spent time with your child, to know what you need to censor. Not the best word, but what you need to limit for them. Because some kids really don't care about the iPad and this and that. They just want to go outside.
Correct.
And depending on your circumstance, maybe you don't want them to go outside. You just wish they'd stay inside. So know what it is that you need to do. Designing your life for what you need to do for your child and set some things in place. So it means taking some time to design what that looks like.
Correct. Love it. I think for me, I'll wrap up and be a little bit more fundamental and simple. I think there are a lot of things that have guided generations, and those things still permit to today. And if you train up a child in the way he should grow, you know the rest. You have to always remind yourself that in parenting, it's your choice. You are the one who's instilling your morals, your values on a child. So if you want them to have positive screen time, it's entirely about how you shape yourself and how you shape them.
Love that.
So let's be deliberate about the things that we do. I think that's one of the things we don't do in this world. We don't accept the deliberate nature of our own actions and the reflection they'll have on our parents. And shout out to my wife, who consistently has always created a kind of interactive environment. Outside of simply being screen time or whatever, there is fun activities. Go cut some paper, go get wet. Go jump up in the kitchen and play in some flour. It's okay to get dirty. It's okay to get messy.
No, wait, is that what we're doing this morning? Shout out to the spouses. Big up yourself. Shout out to the husband who designs
there you go. Good.
a
Love
very
this.
active and interactive life for the boys that we have.
No, we weren't trying to cut out anybody. I promise we weren't trying to cut out anybody. But guys, that's a wrap for the Thursday edition of Roundtable. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys. And as you go forward into the world, remember to be good and be on purpose with how you expose your children to the digital world. Love and love always. Bye, guys.